This is Terrence Woodbury.
That is not my opinion. That is what the data says.
And this is me. And the CBC, the Congressional Black Caucus, gave Terrence and I an opportunity to come to their New York City retreat and talk about how we're using data and science to understand political messaging. And I want you to know what we were talking about. You know how people always say Democrats suck at messaging? Do you know why? It's because policy is not a message. And I'm going to break this down. Every ideology you encounter when you're in this world of politics is a conversation between the body you've inherited, the mind you've developed, and the society that raised you. Let's go deeper. Because of this, when you want to change someone's opinion, you have to move them along a cognitive pathway with your words. This actually requires 4 separate, distinct, and equally important messaging steps. Democrats like to jump in at number 3. They're going to tell you what your policy is, but that's just 1 out of the 4, and it's out of order. That's why their messages aren't landing. The first thing your message needs to do is define the problem. Democrats completely skip that step. Donald Trump does this every single time he speaks. Listen to him. Every time he talks, he's going to define what your problem is. Now, he gonna lie. He gonna say it's the Mexicans and the Muslims and the trans people, and that's the reason he gonna lie. But he completes successfully the first and most instrumental step, which is putting a reason behind your pain. Okay, so then we define the problem, and then we can go to our policies, right? Our policies, right? Slow down, Democrats. The next thing you have to do with your message is give people a vision of what that world would look like if the problem was solved. Messages that go from problem to solution engage your prefrontal cortex. But messages that go from problem to vision, messages that slow down and describe what the world would look like if the solution succeeded, engage your hippocampus. Your hippocampus is the part of your brain that deals with imagination and future thinking and self-projection. At this point, people aren't just understanding your solutions. They are mentally rehearsing what it would feel like to be inside of them. Then you give the policy. The policy is the pathway there. Now you give the policy. This is where y'all like to jump in at, off rips. Guys, y'all spend so much time screaming policy at people. Our policies are popular, I swear to you. Look at the data. The majority of Americans want us to tax the rich more. The majority of Americans think we need more. Our policies are popular, okay? It's our messages and our politicians that aren't popular. And the last thing you need is a plan. How do you plan to get your solution implemented? That's what Project 2025 was. It was a plan. It wasn't just policy and projected. It was, here's how we're going to get this implemented. You put all those things together and you have a message that connects with people, that moves people. And this is what we were talking about at CBC. I want to thank CBC for giving Terrence and I a space to talk about how our research is engaging with these things. The retreat was great. We had so much fun. Hope to come back next year.